What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Eat What You Sow with Co. So today we are not going to do any cooking. Today I wanted to do an episode for those new vegans out there, or people new to eating plant-based diet, or people that are thinking about transitioning to a plant-based diet or transitioning to vegan lifestyle. This video is for you. So full disclosure, I'm filming this while I'm working on this, editing this video, and I cannot figure out how to get this video cut down to a reasonable amount of time. So what I'm doing is I'm splitting this into two videos. So this episode right now is focused on the food aspect. So if you're not transitioning straight to a whole food plant-based diet, and you want to get there, or you're just now switching and you're curious as to all of the vegan meat replacements out there, along with all of the dairy replacements out there, this video is going to be specific to like what my favorite brands are and stuff like that of a bunch of different food items. So the other video is going to be specific to veganism as a whole and just my tips when you're transitioning to a vegan lifestyle, like emotionally and all of that. So I'll plug that above. This video is just too freaking long to put them both in one video like I wanted to do. So I'm hoping this video will help, people that are starting out with like some tips or ideas of what the hell to buy in the store and like cooking and stuff like that. So I have been vegan for about 4 years now, I think almost 4 years now, and I can tell you it's the best decision I ever made. My only regret is not doing it sooner, and you will hear that from the majority of people that have gone vegan. So super excited to film this episode today, and super excited to have you here with me. And I had to take notes for this freaking episode. So I have my notebook right here because I wanted to make sure I did not forget anything. And I'm sure I'm gonna forget stuff anyways, but Pinterest is a freaking fantastic recipe place. Nora Cooks is I swear to God, every recipe I've cooked from her is fantastic. There's like a ton of vegan recipes on there. Another thing to do for recipes, you have like Cheap Lazy Vegan, Pick Up Limes. I mean, there's a ton of YouTube people for food that are focused on the food element primarily. And you also have Eat What You Sow with Co. Just saying, subscribe to me. I do food too, primarily. Well, I try to do food. There is an FOK app. If you're trying to do a whole food plant-based diet, there's an FOK Forks Over Knives app with a whole bunch of recipes on there that are whole food plant-based. Now, this is my biggest key point to anybody, okay? This is like my biggest tip. And some people don't agree with this. And actually, a girl made a response one time when I posted this in response to somebody's post, and she made a really good point. So I'm gonna actually change this a little bit. When you are starting out, if you're transitioning to a vegan diet or a plant-based diet, and let me just explain the difference between whole food plant-based and plant-based. Whole food plant-based is like all whole food. So that is you make everything, okay? Like every freaking thing by scratch, and that is a little challenging, but it's definitely the healthiest. And also, people say that eating vegan is pricey. It is the cheapest. Whole food plant-based is the cheapest. It's like beans, rice, potatoes, everything whole, right? So veggies, everything whole is cheap as hell, right? But it's it can be, not all the time, but it can be more time consuming. But if you are transitioning to eating a plant-based or vegan diet, and you are currently, this is the one thing I am gonna change. If you are currently a heavy meat and potatoes or cheese or meat, cheese, and potatoes sort of eater, I would recommend when you are starting out to just replace what you would normally eat with a vegan version. There are vegan versions of everything now. It is so easy. Now, obviously, it's going to be more challenging where you are, you know, in the world. It's going to be more challenging to do these tips, right? I'm in the US, so it's like, you know, there's a lot of availability, and I'm in Las Vegas too, so there's a lot of availability here. And depending on where you are, you know, you might already eat primarily like whole food plant-based diet, which would be fantastic. Or maybe you don't eat like meat very often, or dairy or cheese. Like you eat a very healthy, like whole food, primarily whole food plant-based diet. Like you're used to eating quinoa and rice. Everyone's used to eating rice. I'm trying to think of what's the other stuff, like quinoa and like millet and all those things, like kale and all that. If you eat all that stuff regularly or already, or you eat a lot of like, you know, brown rice noodles, or, you know, I'm trying to, like tofu, if you already eat tofu, like you're up on the game. Then you're up on the freaking game if you already eat that stuff. Like you already have a leg up on like a lot of people. So if you already eat that stuff, maybe you don't just replace what you would normally eat with a vegan version. It might be easy for you to just transition straight to whole food plant-based because you're already used to like eating that way. But if you are a heavy, which I was, well, I really wasn't because I was vegetarian at the time. So I was a heavy cheese person, cheese and dairy person for sure when I transitioned to vegan. But when I transitioned to vegetarian, I was a heavy, like, I was a meat and potatoes sort of person, although I loved friggin' like tacos and stuff. But I still ate meat with every meal, and I ate dairy with every meal. So if you are a meat and dairy heavy eater today, the easiest thing you can do is just swap out what you would normally eat with a vegan version. And then you will naturally progress to more whole food, plant-based meals. The other thing I wanted to say, when you're starting out, either transitioning to vegan or transitioning to a plant-based diet, if you mess up, do not be discouraged. Like just learn from it and move on. So if you accidentally do something, or you intentionally do something, but you don't, just learn from it and move on. So when you start out being vegan, I'll tell you what I take for a vitamin. I take a multivitamin. I'll post what I take. I take the Diva multivitamin, the vegan multivitamin. But you know, take some B12. I will tell you, when I was vegetarian, I was anemic as a vegetarian. And I can tell you, I did my blood test about a year ago. No, probably less than that, probably 6 months ago. My levels of everything were perfect, including iron. You can definitely get the protein, the iron, all that stuff from your diet. You just have to pay attention to what you eat. Like I eat 2 Brazil nuts every morning, 6 walnuts, like you'll learn all this stuff. Chia seeds, you know, like make some smoothies, put some chia seeds in there, like put some kale in there. Like I don't like kale. I'm sorry, I'm a bad vegan because I do not like kale. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry. I wish I freaking did like kale. I have had like one time some kale chips that were like okay, but I still would never crave them. I wish I liked kale because it's so freaking healthy. But just, you know, again, you will learn as you go. And if it helps you, download like an app where you can track your nutrients. If you're worried about, you know, making sure you get a certain amount of nutrients, download these apps to track your nutrients. There's a lot of free apps out there and also some paid apps. Just download like a nutrient tracker app. So there's an app out there called Is It Vegan? And this app, I think it's a free app. It's like a barcode scanner. So you can scan a product and it'll tell you if it's vegan or not, or if they think it's vegan, or if they don't know, or if it's yes or for sure no. So download that app as well if you're at the store or whatever and you can't tell by the list of ingredients. However, I will tell you, most of the time, maybe not 100% of the time, but most of the time, if you're looking at a list of ingredients, it will tell you at the bottom, like the biggest thing that's snuck in there, I think, is milk, right? Like there's like milk freaking like powder in the most random shit, right? But if you look at the ingredient list, most of the time if there's milk, it'll be in bold underneath like this list of 1 million ingredients. Underneath, a bold statement will say like contains milk ingredients, okay? Not all the time, but most of the time. So just that helped my mom when I told her that. Like, look, mom, you bought this. Look at the back right here. You see how it's bolded, like, you know. Because some of that stuff you think it should absolutely be vegan, why wouldn't it be? But nope, they gotta scatter some freaking milk in there. There's another app called the Happy Cow app, and I think that app helps like find restaurants near you, like vegan food options and stuff. I don't really use that one that much, but I believe that that's really for like restaurants and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna dive into like specific food that I like, or like items that I like, okay? So I'll start with like the brands that I like. I like a lot more than this, you guys, but it's so hard to list them all. But these are like ones that I think of off the top of my head that I'm like, okay, almost every single thing, if not everything I've had from that brand, I have liked, okay? So I would say Gardein, frozen stuff from Gardein. Gardein has a lot of frozen products, and I like almost everything I've had of Gardein products I like. So if you're at the store and you're sitting there looking at stuff, Gardein is a good one. Beyond Meat, I love Beyond Meat. Not the frozen Beyond Meat, but the fresh Beyond Meat, like Beyond Meatballs, Beyond Meat, like I love Beyond, or Beyond Brats is like my favorite vegan item is Beyond Brats, for sure. Beyond Brats, Beyond Burgers, so bomb. The other thing is Light Life. They have a ground that's good as well, and they also have like hot dogs. A lot of people hate their hot dogs, but I freaking like them. I don't know why I like them, and a lot of people don't like them, but I really like their hot dogs. Seasonings. Okay, so I'm gonna give you like 2 of my seasoning tips, okay? Get some freaking smoked paprika. So if you start watching my other videos, or if you have watched my other videos, you're gonna see that I talk about smoked paprika to the level of everyone's annoyance, I'm pretty sure. I love smoked paprika. Like, that is the bomb. And my sister was just saying like smoked turmeric. I gotta try that because turmeric is super good for you, and I freaking love turmeric. But yeah, smoked paprika or smoked turmeric, like smoked paprika on all your fake meat, all of it. Season it with smoked paprika. It's a freaking game changer. I season all of mine with smoked paprika, all of it. Every single one of my fake meats I season with smoked paprika, always. And tofu, I season that with smoked paprika. I season corn on the cob with smoked paprika. I season potatoes with smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. The other thing is black salt, or Kamala. I'm gonna screw up this word, but it's called something Kamalic or something. I don't know the formal thing, but it's black salt. That gives an eggy, like sulfury taste. So if you're trying to make like tofu scramble or the Just Egg product, there's a product of Just Egg. There's also a soy egg product. If you're trying to make vegan eggs, get some black salt. It gives it like an eggy sort of flavor. So those are like the 2 ones. Obviously, like the regular ones that you're used to using, like garlic. Everyone loves freaking garlic, right? And onion powder and stuff like that. But okay. So coffee creamer seems to be another question that a lot of people have as well. My favorite creamer, and my sister's, is the Silk brand creamers. Actually, my favorite freaking one is the creme brulee, but they have like vanilla, caramel, like sweet and creamy. I don't know what else, but my favorite of them is the creme brulee, but those creamers are the bomb. Ice cream. So ice cream, there's Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but I have found, which Ben & Jerry's ice cream is really good too, like their non-dairy ice cream, but I think ice cream made with cashew milk is the best. It tastes more like, it reminds me more of like a gelato sort of like creaminess. So I like cashew milk ice cream. Now, my favorite ice cream is So Delicious brand. These ice cream bars are the freaking bomb. And they also have like tubs of ice cream too, but the ice cream bars are absolutely freaking delicious. But there are other good brands of ice cream too. But I have found that I really like cashew milk ice cream the best. Out of all the almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk ice cream, I think is the best. So sour cream. So sour cream, my favorite sour cream is Forager. The texture is a little weird. It's like a little bouncy, but the taste is good. And I used to like Good Karma a lot, but I think that they changed the formula or something. Like Forager is my favorite now. And I think Follow Your Heart has sour cream too. That's kind of decent. But if you can find Forager, that's my favorite as far as flavor is concerned. So cheese. Cheese is a tough one, guys. Everyone knows that. Like vegan cheese, I need a drink of wine to talk about cheese. Hold on. So cheese is a tough one, right? Like everyone knows, like it's hard to find good vegan cheese. Now, what I will say is I think as far as like creamy cheeses, there are good creamy liquidy cheeses out there. There are some. The Siete, I just did a nacho video on this and I couldn't say this word, but this cheese is really good. Like it's a cashew cheese. There's Honest Stand cheese, like dip is good. I actually like the Daya Alfredo sauce and the zesty cheddar. I mix it with, oh shoot, I forgot to mention nooch. Oh my God, back to seasonings. Hold on, we're going backwards real quick. Nutritional yeast. You will hear nooch mentioned a lot in the vegan groups or if you're around vegans. That's also known as nutritional yeast. It sounds freaking scary. I know it sounds scary, right? It does not sound like appetizing when you hear the word nutritional yeast. However, it's the freaking bomb. It gives a cheesy flavor to stuff and it's like fortified with like B12, I think. It's the bomb. So anyway, when I use the creamy cheeses on stuff, and I have episodes out there for like Alfredo pasta and also how I do like spaghetti pasta and also like other cheesy stuff that I do. I like to mix nooch in it, so nutritional yeast. But I actually like the Daya liquid cheeses, and I don't really like Daya products a lot, really, but I do like their liquid cheeses. I do put like vegan butter in there, and I also put nooch in there, but I do like their liquid cheeses. For hard cheese, my favorite cheese is Violife. The smoked Violife cheeses are my favorite. Follow Your Heart has a smoked Gouda. It's also pretty good. But Violife, the best hard vegan cheese I have ever had, I've only found this in one freaking store. They have a vegan market here in Las Vegas, is this. I took a picture of it because I'm like, that is the best cheese I've ever had. It's a brick. It's the bomb. It's so good. I could eat it on a cracker, and I even gave it to Dave and he ate it on a cracker too, and he's picky. Violife is my favorite hard cheese. And a lot of vegans agree on that. They also say like Follow Your Heart, but I would say Violife for sure is my favorite vegan cheese. Do not get discouraged if you eat a gross vegan cheese because it's probably gonna happen, but you will find one that you like. And that's why I wanna give these tips so that, you know, I don't want you to try something that's vegan and be like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And then be totally turned off and think that's how they all taste. They do not. You will find the good ones that you like, I promise you. Butter, Makios, I don't know. I probably say that wrong all the time. That butter is freaking good. Forager also has a butter that's pretty good. So I'll post those above. The yogurt, if you're a yogurt person, my friend Iris, I told her about these. She likes yogurt and she's pretty picky. She likes the silk yogurts, and I like the silk. I'm not a big yogurt fan, but as far as like yogurts, I would recommend the silk yogurt. And I know there's a lot of gross vegan yogurts, a lot, but I would recommend the silk one. That's my recommendation. I'm sure there's other good ones, you guys. This is just what I've come across. Okay, so I use different milks for different things, okay? So like my favorite overall vegan milk is oat milk. Because I'm not like, I was never like a huge milk drinker, but I love oat milk. I can actually just drink it like by itself, but it matters what brand you buy. I really like the Silk oat milk and then the Oatly oat milk. But then there's so many milks. There's cashew milk, which I think cashew milk ice cream tastes really good. There's almond milk, which almond milk tastes good in like cereal and stuff. I think you can use like the Almond Breeze almond milk or whatever. There's soy milk. So when I order coffee at Starbucks, I order it with soy milk because I think my coffees taste better with soy milk. So there's hemp milk, rice milk. I mean, there's so many milks. Experiment with the freaking milks. Experiment with them in different recipes and different stuff. Like if you want to start out with a vegan milk, like to try, I mean, I would recommend the freaking oat milk. That's my favorite milk. My dad's favorite milk is soy milk. So tofu. Okay, you guys, I used to hate tofu. I never thought I would like tofu. You don't understand. Like, I was vegetarian for a million years and I never ate tofu. Never. I hated tofu. I was like, tofu is freaking disgusting. I love tofu now, guys. I love it. I love it. It's all about how you freaking cook it. So I'm going to post my tofu episode here, okay? If you get time or you want to try out tofu, watch this episode. If you're not used to eating tofu, like, you don't have to start out just buying a bunch of tofu. Like I said, buy some. If you're going to eat a freaking burger, eat a Beyond Burger instead of what you normally would eat. You're like, okay, today is burger and fries. Eat some fries, eat a Beyond Burger with it. If you're going to eat pasta, you want to do pasta night, just replace the crumbles in your pasta spaghetti with the Gardein crumbles and do your regular recipes. Just replace replace the items that are not vegan with a vegan version. That is what I would recommend. You don't need to go in, if you've never eaten tofu in your life, and start trying to do like tofu this and tofu that. Like, just, you know, you'll get there. You'll start experimenting and get there. But now I freaking love tofu. If you already like tofu, like, you have a step up. But if you want to eat tofu, if you're trying to do like more of a whole food sort of thing, like, my favorite tofu is this Sprouts brand extra firm freaking tofu. This is my favorite tofu. But check out the tofu video. You know, I give some tips in there and also how I do it 4 different ways. So beer and wine. So obviously, cheers. I still drink beer and wine. So Barnivore is a great app to tell you which wines and beers are vegan. A lot of beers are naturally vegan. Wines are hit and miss. You gotta really look those up. So every time I go to a restaurant, unless it's a vegan restaurant, which I don't really go to restaurants anymore unless they are vegan restaurants, but the rare instances that I do, I'm always like looking at the wine list, like researching, is this brand vegan? A quick Google search will normally tell you if the brand of wine is vegan. But there are tons of vegan beer. A lot of beer is naturally vegan. Wines are hit and miss because of the way, you know, the wine is filtered, the filtration process of using like fish bladder and stuff like that. So like, Barnivore is a good app, but also a quick Google search will tell you. So you don't have to give up like alcohol, and most hard alcohol is vegan as well. So I will say I have never had a frozen vegan pizza that I like that has cheese on it. My favorite vegan pizza, I have ordered pizza that I like from Blaze Pizza, that is vegan pizza that I do like, but I'm not a huge pizza person anyways. I actually like making my own pizza bagels, and if you like, I'll post a link to me and Dave's Christmas episode where we did that, but it's really long. But my favorite vegan pizza is this Amy's brand pizza. There's no cheese on it, and it's like, has kind of like a barbecue flavor. This pizza's the bomb. This is my favorite vegan pizza that I've seen. Another thing that I am horribly obsessed with from Amy's, and this is bad because I have probably like 8 of them in the freezer right now. These freaking Amy's burritos are, I love burritos, you guys. Like, burritos have always been like my favorite thing, like wraps and burritos and stuff like that, except for like my mom's spaghetti casserole. But I love burritos, okay? And these burritos, if you just want a quick meal or, whatever, these burritos are seriously the bomb. If you used to eat those orange, like bean and cheese burritos, like I used to eat those, what was it, like I can't even remember what those damn things were called. I want to say Monterey for some reason, but I don't know if that's right. I used to eat those I used to eat those all the time with sour cream and salsa, right? Now I eat these. These are very similar. And the other Amy's burritos that are just no cheese. They have like the vegetable ones, and then they have like bean and rice. But these are like most like those orange burritos that I used to eat. They're the bomb. And you know what I put on those is freaking bitchin' sauce. If you have not heard of bitchin' sauce, you guys, it is the bomb. There's tons of different flavors. I would recommend bitchin' sauces. The Chipotle one is what I put on these burritos, but they have a ton of different flavors and they're good. What I would recommend is if you are interested in those bitchin' sauces, get a bag of pita chips and then just dip pita chips in there and try the flavors. Pesto, they have a pesto one that's super good. They have their original, their Chipotle is really good. I mean, they have a whole bunch. They have a spinach and artichoke now that's really good. Bitchin' sauce, 100% I would recommend bitchin' sauces. They're the bomb. So another thing, so I've been trying the purple carrot frozen meals and I actually like those. Those are really good. And the Alpha brand, also I like Alpha brand is really good too. Also like some of the Amy's vegan frozen meals are good if you need like a quick little like frozen meal dish. I also have like some recipes on my site for like lunches and stuff like that if you want to skim my page, but those are really good. And as far as eggs, like there is a just egg thing, but I actually like tofu scramble better. But just egg is not bad. Oh, that thing fell off my ear. Okay, so I don't know. I'm sure there's like main food items that I missed, but I really just wanted to touch on like the key brands that I like for certain like key items. I hope I captured enough to be helpful and maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. But another thing I will say is that a lot of people say like veganism is a limited diet. And I will tell you now that I'm vegan, I eat more types of foods than I've ever eaten in my entire life. And I have learned about cooking more than I have ever known and all these different foods and I feel fantastic. I feel healthier than I've ever felt in my life and mentally as well. I feel fantastic. So anyway, I hope this video helped some of you. I really just wanted to put this together because I feel like I see a lot that it's overwhelming for new vegans or people trying to transition to like plant-based eating and like they're like, what the hell do I buy at the store, So I hope this video helped, and please, like, any of you that are vegan or you're transitioning or you have any other questions or anything to add that I've missed, please put it in the comments. Like, please put it in the comments. And I apologize for the stuff that I did miss because I'm sure I missed plenty. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, subscribe to me to see some of my like vegan recipes. I am not a friggin' master chef, so mine are pretty simple the majority of the time. So it's actually perfect for new vegans. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and I look forward to next time.